Donald Trump is arguably the most influential man in the world. And one of the secrets to his successful life is his daily routine. And for the next 7 days, I'm going to be attempting to try out Donald Trump's daily routine. And since I'm attempting his crazy routine, shouldn't I dress like he does? Okay, I think that's it. Waking up at 5:30 was very hard to say the least, but once I changed and got into the day, it got much better. But as I was changing into a suit, things felt very weird because this is the first time in my life that I've woken up this early on purpose, and the first thing I've done is put on a suit. And wearing a suit at 5:30 a.m. is fine, of course, but I just felt very out of place in my own house. Donald Trump usually wakes up between 5:30 and 6. Then he changes, and then the first thing he does is watches the news and gets caught up to see if anything has happened overnight. While I was watching the news first thing like Trump does, I actually saw Trump on the news answering questions to the press in the first few hours of 2025. After Trump catches up on the news, he writes important emails and goes on social media, mostly X, and makes comments about the news that morning. Now this morning I didn't post anything online, I just wrote a couple emails. Once I finished writing emails, I sat down to read. And believe it or not, Donald Trump is actually a very avid reader. One of his favorite books, which I read this morning of all time, is the Bible. Now, I don't know where Trump is with the Lord, but as for me personally, I identify as a follower of Christ and want to become a man after his own heart. Trump has stated that the Bible is a source of comfort and guidance for him, though he has been a little vague about how deeply he engages with it on a personal level. But I chose to pick it up and read it this morning because I thought that would be an excellent way to start off the week. And once I had finished reading the Bible, I looked out a window and saw that light was starting to show outside, which meant that sunrise was soon. Now, since I saw that the sun was about to rise, I thought it was a perfect time for breakfast. Now, if you know anything about Donald Trump, you know that he loves fast food. No better way to start off the week than by going to Now, since I wasn't mic'd up while I was ordering my food, this is basically how it went.
Good morning, welcome to McDonald's. What do you want?
Hey, yeah, good morning. I was wondering, could I get a sausage egg McMuffin with a medium coffee, 3 creams, and 3 sugars?
And is that all?
Yes, please.
Okay, your food will be out shortly. Please wait over to the left.
And as I was waiting for my food, I looked around the restaurant and there was literally no one there. It was only me. So if you ever want to have the awkward experience of being the only person at McDonald's, go as soon as they open on a Monday morning. After breakfast, I brushed my teeth and then made a few business calls, which is what Trump does after he eats breakfast. So Trump spends the rest of the morning having business briefings, meetings, phone calls, and online meetings. Now, obviously, most of these meetings are related to his business because, after all, he's a billionaire. But he also has time where he sits down with his political strategists and consulates. And once Trump finishes his morning business, he goes straight to lunch. Trump has stated in previous interviews that while Chinese food is not his favorite food, he does really enjoy it. So that's what I decided to have for lunch. Orange chicken and rice is one of the greatest food combos ever. And I won't lie, this is some of the best food I've had in a very long time. And when Trump finishes eating lunch, he goes straight to the TV to watch the news to see if anything else has happened he can make a comment on online. But nothing really exciting was happening in the news, so after I saw it, I turned off the TV and went straight back to business briefings and meetings. I was just writing more emails, talking with friends, and doing homework. Writing emails and doing things I had to get done took me the rest of the afternoon into the early evening. And I wouldn't say it was really boring because these were things that I had to get done anyway. And when Trump finishes his afternoon meetings, he goes straight to dinner. And for dinner, I ordered out some pizza, which is arguably Trump's favorite food, tied with McDonald's. It's been reported that Trump's favorite pizza is Domino's, but since there isn't a Domino's nearby and Papa John's near me was having a sale, I decided to go with Papa John's, which is personally my favorite type of pizza. And I'm sure, as you've probably already guessed it, after dinner Trump watches more news and sees if anything interesting has happened, anything that he has to react to. And it's honestly been a very chill time watching the news today, because watching the news is something I'd never do at all. But am I missing out in any way by not watching the news? Not at all. There's just something very chill about watching the news early in the morning and in the evening. Once Trump catches up on the news, he turns on the TV and sees if there's any college football on. College football is a sport he enjoys and follows closely. Trump watches the games and really appreciates the energy and competitiveness of the teams. And on occasion, when games are not scheduled and he has some time, he'll just watch college football highlights on YouTube. He finds entertainment and excitement in the world of college football, oftentimes discussing the games with others or reflecting on standout performances. This is a big way for Trump to unwind from his day and enjoy a break from the demands of his usual hectic routine. After watching college football, Trump usually takes some more time to relax and unwind from the busyness of the day. He often enjoys spending time with his family, engaging in casual conversation, or sharing moments of leisure. And in some cases, he reaches out to his family members by phone, making a point to check up on them and their well-being. This time in Trump's life is usually marked by a sense of comfort and personal connection, providing a break from all the demands of his day and allowing him to focus on the ones he loves. And once Donald Trump finishes his daily dose of college football and connecting with family, he goes to bed somewhere between 12 and 1 a.m. I woke up pretty early, around 5:30 a.m., which is something I'm definitely not used to, but it felt good to get a head start, because most of the time I wake up at 7 to 8 and feel sluggish. But I woke up at 5:30 a.m. with a purpose today. But there was just something about waking up at 5:30 that was rejuvenating. It was very chill that early in the morning because there were no cars going by, no loud sounds, it was just all quiet and peaceful. Anyways, I kicked off the day by catching up on the news, like Trump does, to stay informed on what's happened overnight. After that, I had a pretty awkward time at McDonald's, me being the only person there, and ordering breakfast in a suit. Now that was definitely the weirdest, most awkward part of the day. And the rest of the morning was pretty chill, mostly with phone calls and emails, which kept me busy. And for lunch, I had some delicious orange chicken with rice and broccoli, which, like I said, is one of the greatest food combos of all time. After filling myself up with food like a balloon, I went back to the afternoon business, phone calls, emails, meetings, and briefings. And it wasn't boring in any way, because these are things that I had to get done. I then had some delicious pizza, watched more news, and relaxed by watching college football and spending time with family. Now that day one is almost over, I feel pretty good physically and emotionally, and hopefully I stayed like that for the rest of the week, because I don't know how I'll do getting 5 hours of sleep every night, waking up at 5:30 and going to bed at midnight. I'll also be filming and editing like crazy for the next 6 to 7 days. So it's going to be an upload every single day, starting today, for the next 7 days. So my last upload will be next week. And yeah, that's pretty much it for day one of surviving Donald Trump's routine. If you really enjoyed day one, please send it to family and friends. Like, subscribe, because that'll really help me and motivate me through the course of the week. And yeah, I think that's it. On to day two for surviving a day in the life of Donald Trump.